Well, hello, y'all. Welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are working on the bobbin blooms. I'm hoping this is our final, but what we are doing is there are two border strips that has, let me grab my pieces here. It is going to be a D and an L that we are using. This is my D's and these are my L's. We alternate these, and it looks like I will be making 3 of these. So let me see how many of the D's I need. Okay, I'll need 10 of each D. So I need to do 3 different ones. Okay, I just have 2 little squares that I won't be using there, which is fine, or rectangles. They're not squares, they're rectangles. So what I'm doing is I'm just setting those aside, and I am going to start sewing these just end to end. It looks like we start with a color and end with a color. So guys, I hope y'all are having a very good day, a very safe day. We have had quite the weather here overnight and today. It looks like we're going to have it again today. I'm looking to see how this presses, and it looks like you press to all the colors. So we are just going to get this on our machine, and we're going to get it that 1/4 of an inch stitch. We're going to drop that needle down in it and just start sewing. So what I'm going to do is sew, just take each one and sew it with a white, and then after I do these, then I'll put them together and then press them. I think it'll go quicker that way. And I want to thank everyone for coming and visiting with me. I know there's 1,000 other channels you could be watching, and I'm honored that you are coming and watching my channel. And I hope my channel is a happy place for everybody, because I really do enjoy sewing and sewing along with everybody, because I know some people are out there sewing with me today. And my kitty cat is too. She feels the need to talk to me today. It is my weekend, which starts on Thursday evening. And I'm so excited. I love my grandbabies, and I love keeping my grandbabies. I really do, but I love sewing too. And I had so much fun last weekend keeping my little grandbaby girl. Oh, she's so precious. And my grandson, he's such a handsome little thing. My grandbaby girl, she's beautiful too. She's so pretty. She's got them dark, big eyes and beautiful dark eyelashes. Oh, she's so pretty. Her mama's beautiful too. I think I've said that before, but her mama is very beautiful. My son has a very beautiful wife and a very beautiful baby. And my daughter's not too shabby herself. She's a beautiful girl. And her fiance's a handsome man. And they got a beautiful baby boy. He's got those big eyes with long eyelashes too. Oh, he's going to be a heartthrob when he grows up. It's scary. To be honest, it's scary. Well, guys, I'm going to just keep sewing these. Let me go on and just separate that one though so I know. But I'm going to go ahead and sew them all. But I'll go on and lay that one over to the side so I can sew this next set, because those that I just pulled off are going to be in one set. And these will be in a different set. And y'all, I'm going to remind y'all. Now, of course, what I'm sewing right now is from Fat Quarter Shop. But guys, don't forget, the 31st, Cotton Cuts opens up their Wild West registration. You can go on and sign up. I've looked at the colors. I haven't seen any additional colorways yet, but there's like 3 that I think are just, I could use any 3 of them. And I'm debating on a small or a large. I'm not real sure yet what I want to do. The small is the carnival size, and I'll try to get my carnival bound before that so you can see how big that is. The small, I think, is supposed to be like 4 foot by 5 foot, something like that. I think it's 48 by 50 something. I can't remember it, and I didn't look at the page yet. I looked at it today just to see if they had new colorways out there. And they did have their prices out there. I think the small is like $20.50 for the small, and the large is just a little bit more than that. But I was thinking about doing the small and maybe just making borders on it to make it larger, because the small is beautiful too. I've never had a large one. I'm working on a large one for the Tree of Life. So I've never completed a large one yet, but I have completed the small one. I have completed the carnival, and I just have to do the binding on it, which if I finish this in time, and I plan on only sewing on this for an hour tonight. So this may be part 5 of 5. It may be part 5 of 6. I don't know. I have not cut my, let's see, what is it called? The borders or something. I have most everything I need cut out. So I have 2 really big long strips that I need to cut out. And y'all, I can finish the quilt without that, because it's just the background color. It's just white strips. I think the large white strips go on the outside edge. So I don't have those done. I don't have those cut out yet, which is okay with me. And I haven't decided if I want to try to quilt this one on my sewing machine. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do about that. I normally let my amount of projects that I have going on dictate what I do. And I don't think I have any others to cut. Well, I have my pressed flowers. I still haven't cut out my pressed flowers finishing yet. So I have my pressed flowers finishing to do. I have quite a few finishings that I need to get done. And when I say finishings, I mean like the borders and things like that. This one here needs to be finished. My Craftsman needs to be bound. I hear you. I hear you all. My Craftsman needs to be bound. My Carnival needs to be bound. I just cut that thread and did not leave it. My Craftsman, my Carnival, those need to be bound. So I have the 2 that needs to be bound. See, the only ones I have, I've been trying to keep up with what I have that needs to be bound, what needs to be worked on. I actually have a notebook of completed projects that I went back through my videos so I could see what I had completed and put it in my book. And my recording day is my completed day, because not necessarily my published date, but my recording day is always my date I completed my project. So I have quite a few items that I have completed and just really did not realize how much I had completed. And what I'm trying to do in my completion book is put in there the name of the pattern, the line of the fabric, the day I completed the quilt top, the day it goes to the long arm and who long armed it. And if I can remember whatever the design is that it's quilted in. I try to remember that. I don't really remember that very well. But oh, I think I put too many ends on. I'm going to have 3 that does not need a white thing on it. So let me pull them 3 out. 1. Those are going to be the end of my rows. I didn't think about that last piece doesn't need a piece sewn to it. And then I tried to put also the date that I bind it. So I know it's 100% completed on a certain date. You know, I put my start date on there. I try to. I haven't been very good about that because I just really started documenting my quilts. Okay, so what we are going to do is cut these apart. Now I will need to press these because they have to be pressed a certain direction. They all have to be pressed to the colored fabric. And I'm just going to go on and cut all of them. And it's not going to matter if I mix them up because it's just not. As long as I have 10 and for each row, and I will need 9 of these and 1 of a single. Okay, y'all, and just like that, I have all of my little 2-piece strips completed. So what I am going to do is, first off, I'm getting them off my sewing machine so I can sew on it. I am going to take my 3 pieces that do not have the white on it, and I'm going to start off with this. So what I'll do is just grab one of these and put a white end on top of it. And I know this is going to be hard to do with only 3 rows, and I'm probably going to try to. Now, what I'm probably going to do is get these 3 done. And then I'm trying not to have 2 of the same colors together. So that shouldn't be hard. So I'm just going to go on, and I say that, and I'll probably end up with multiples of 2 of the same colors together. But I'm going to start at one end of my colors and just start working through them. Well, I could actually change it up and sew it on the opposite end. But it's really not going to matter as long as I can flip the piece, you know, as long as it's not an end piece, I can flip it. So I'm on my last yellow. Now I know I already have my 3 end pieces done. That's the first 3 I did. So that is not going to be an issue. And yeah, we've been doing this for 35 minutes now, and that's with the pressing and everything. So this part is going pretty quick. But, you know, it may take some time to get this done. I think I'm going to sew on the green end this time. But I will have to press these out. Okay, it looks like I have an extra. Nope, I got 2 extra. Okay. And that'll work out perfect because they're not the last 2 I have, and they'll both go nicely with these colors that I have it next to. I hope I didn't put any color to color instead of color to white. Now once I've finished this, I am going to separate them and I will press them, and I will bring you guys right back after I've pressed, so we can start sewing the rest of them together. Okay guys, I have my 3 rows picked out. I am not going to sew all 3 at one time. I am going to do 1 at a time to not get confused, because that is so easy to do with this. And I can see, you know, I didn't put them end to end where they're going. I just laid them straight in a line like how they're going to be, and just picked 1 up at a time. So I know that this is my first one, this was my second one, 3rd and 4th, and then I have 1 row left. I do not want to get these confused, because I have it where I don't have any duplicating colors. I'm going to go ahead and cut those and separate those, and that's 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I'm keeping them together. I'm putting them over here on my ironing table so I know which 3 go together. Now I know we probably hadn't got but 15-20 minutes of sewing in at this point, and most of it has been pressing. I understand, I know. But for my project to turn out nice, I know a lot of people say they don't press, they don't do this, they don't do that. I have to. Well, I probably don't have to, but I just feel like it makes my pieces turn out better if I do. Because I don't want to have my finger up under here trying to hold seams together. So this is the first one, 2nd, 3rd row. I'm really just wanting to get this piece together because all in all, I'm almost at an hour of sewing with pressing and all the other things. But pressing does take time if you have to work on a seam or something. Okay, I'm going to press and be right back. I now have my 3 sets ready for the last 2 pieces. I'm going to put 2 of the rows out of the way. In my 3rd row, this is the bottom piece. So I'm going to lay that over here. This is my top piece. So what I will do is continue to sew these on. But I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Okay, this I don't guess it matters. This is because I don't have any repeating, so I can put these 2 together, and this way I'm not undoing it. I'm just putting them together there so I can go on and get those 2 sewed together. So when I do trim out, it'll be ready to go. Okay, this is my top. And we're going to do the same thing with this one as well. Once I get it through there, I'm going to take that end and put the other end on it. Trying to be a little more efficient here. Okay, we got our bottom piece here. What I'm trying to do is make sure I have the white one on top when I sew, because that is the middle strip, and that way I can sew directly to the middle strip. Because if I don't, I have to sew to the first strip, and that may create a duplication in designs in my strip, you know, that are next to one another, and I don't want that. So okay, so we've got those done. We're going to trim these apart and then press them open. I now have all 3 of my strips completed. So let's see what our next step is. We are to put an O. That's one of my long strips. We are to put an O on the top and bottom of each one of these strips. So let me get my O's here. I'm going to press these bends out real quick, just so I have a nice flat piece to work with. I now have all of my O strips opened up and pressed, so I am going to lay them right here below the front of my machine so I can have them more accessible here. Okay, guys, what I'm doing is I'm taking a long colored strip. Now, I am going to pin these together because I do know there is some difference in length here that I am going to have to make up. So what I'm going to do, and I don't know if I cut wrong or what. I don't think I cut wrong. I actually know I did not cut wrong. But I'm going to pin both ends together. And then I'm going to pin that center together. I may just put these end to end and find the center this way. And this way I know I have to kind of stretch my fabric a little bit by about that much. I don't like that, but I'm not sure why there's a difference. But there is. So I'm going to go on and get that needle down. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I have this pinned, I know I need to, I don't understand why it's so much of a difference. I did not use the scant quarter inch either. I'm sorry, I had y'all up on the mic. I did not use the scant quarter inch because I did not want this to happen. Okay guys, I've made it to that middle needle. So now I will focus on this end. And I'm going to take a break. I have a cat that is needing some attention. And she's not going to stop until I give it to her. So I'll be right back. I am back. But you'll probably notice it's not the same day. And that is okay. But I am still working on doing my strips here. And what I'm having to do is find the center of each strip, because my strip with the color fabrics on it is a wee bit longer than my white strip. I don't know why, because I did a full 1/4 inch. I didn't do a scant. So what I'm going to do is just, I've got my fabrics pinned on both ends and pinned in the center. I had to service my machine real quick, because I did do a good bit of sewing on it yesterday. So it's best, if you do that, to go on and give it a little bit of oil and make sure everything's good. Oops. Okay. It does sound a whole lot better, but I'm still getting an error message on my machine, and I think it's because I'm pulling that bottom fabric and it probably feels the tension against the needle. I'm just going to have to keep doing it though, because I've got to get my fabrics the same. I've got to make sure they're the same length. And I don't know why one is longer than the other. Just no idea, but it is, and we will just go with it. And I'll probably speed you through this because I'm just really sewing, trying to get this down to where this is our last Bobbin Blooms video, because this is number 5. Oh, probably what the issue is, it looks like my bobbin may be running low. I didn't notice it being too low. Yeah, we are still stitching, so I've got plenty of bobbin there. But I will check my bobbin once I'm done with this. I may need to refill it. I normally let it run all the way out. And what I'll do once I have completed putting the white strip on one side, I will press it out, and then I'll put a white strip on the other side, because these are going to be the pieces that are in between our bloom pieces. Okay, now that I have this one side completed, I am going to go ahead and sew this on the other side. And I know I'm going to have to turn it this direction where my colored strip is on top, because I have all of those seams that I want to make sure they're all going in the proper direction. And I guess I need to go on and pin these, and because I'm going to have to stretch these. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I cut. No, I cut exactly. I know I cut exactly what it said, but sometimes it happens and you just figure out a way to make it work. And sometimes you just get really good at it. So I'm just folding this in half. I'm finding the center. And I will pin that right there. Because there's that much difference in it. But I can easily, I I don't know, probably not supposed to do this, but I'm not cutting more fabric. I will cut the borders. I still have not cut those borders, and I'll cut them in a little bit. Because I do want to finish this today. This way I will have another quilt top. I know what's making that go off. It's me stretching this bottom piece out. But that'll give me another quilt top that I can get quilted. And I want to get my carnival bound this weekend as well. I think what I'm going to do, since I keep getting that error after I do this strip and go to press, I'm going to re-thread my whole machine. Because my upper thread is fine, and my bobbin, there is more than enough to do this whole strip. So it has to be something with the threading of the machine. And sometimes all it takes is just to re-thread it and it goes away. And the error I'm getting is showing that my upper thread is out. And I keep checking for my bobbin to make sure that it's, because I mean, it may look like it's got more on it than I may think it has more on it than it does. So that's why I just keep an eye on the stitches to make sure they're catching, and I know if they are, that my bobbin is still good. I still have thread in my bobbin. Okay, and now I don't have to pull anymore because it looks like I've worked enough of that slack out of it. So let's just see. Nope, it's doing it even without any pressure being put on the needle. So I know I've got to re-thread my machine. And after we finish this, we will put our bloom sections together. We will sash them with a strip. It's the end strip. Now this seems to be doing better. I guess I just needed to rethread, and I did go ahead and do another bobbin for it. But I did have well more than enough to do this this strip. Yeah, we have some weather that's going to be rolling in here. We were supposed to have had some last night. We had a little bit of sprinkles. So I went on and got my garden finished today. I had some okra that I had to repot or replant because I had a critter get into my garden bed and dig up a couple of my seed. Well, dug up a whole row of my seeds, and when I say whole row, it's like 5 or 6 maybe. So I went to a local nursery and I got one pot. I normally plant the Clemson spineless, so I just got one little pot of starch, you know, for that. And there was like 6 plants in that one little old pot. That's why I picked that pot, so I wouldn't have to buy but one. And I'd have more than enough to fill the bed back up. Which was my goal, was to go on and fill the empty spots. And my chives, I never can seed chives. And so my basil, I can't get it to grow from seeds. I had a basil spot. It was in a container. And I think the freeze probably got it. Because I think you're supposed to protect your basil from frost. Well, it froze that year. And it was in a container, so it didn't. I don't have a greenhouse or anything to put it in. And I wasn't about to put it on my back porch where all my animals would be scratching in it and everything else. So I'm like, well, I'll just replant it. So now I've planted some in my large, I call it my large garden box, because it's taller and bigger, and it's back here in my backyard. So when I walk out my door, I can see it. I've got some chives planted in there. It's the garden bed that I have my Tabasco planted in. I don't know why I planted Tabasco. My husband likes hot peppers. I don't. But, you know, if I make him some pepper sauce, you know, maybe he'll like that. So I now have my 3 long panels done there. I'm going to lay those to the back. So our next step is, it says assemble quilt center, pay close attention to block placement, and then it tells me what it should measure. So what we will do is take our bloom sections and we will take our ends, which these are our ends. I have them folded. I may need to press them, but I may not. This is our ends, and we are going to take these ends and put between each flower section. Now I'm going to try to do mine how they have. Their first one, now of course the fabric is not going the same way. The first one they have is this one right here. And then they have another peach color top, but not that exact one, going the opposite direction. So it's going to go this direction. And I know you can't really see that, but what I'm going to do is get, let me see, which ones need that on there. I only need 3. And the next one is a yellow. Okay, these 3 are going to be the ones that need a strip on the right side of it. So these are the ones I'm starting to work on. I just laid my strips down somewhere, and I think I laid my fabric on top of them. I did. So the first thing I do is I'm going to pin at the top, because like the other, I'm going to make sure it's the correct length. Yep, it's the correct length. Now I have all these seams underneath here that need to stay tucked. So that means I am going to sew on the back side of it. So I'm sliding this under here, getting it down at that 1/4 of an inch, putting my needle in, removing that pin because I have it secured now. I could probably sew this from the other side. I think that's what I'm going to do. Sew this from the other side. Because this center piece here runs out just a little bit more. And I would like to use my white strip, my background strip or sashing strip, as my guide for that 1/4 inch. So I'm guessing each of my bobbin bloom panels, I'm going to have to decide which side to sew that on, because this one I chose to do it on the white strip side because this section right here came out a little further. So I'm going to lay this over to the side. This next one that we have is going to be upside down. So I'm going to pin the sashing right here. and then I will pin the other end, and these are coming out exact, so that's always a good sign. And I like to pin, when it's things like this, I like to pin it just to make sure it don't slip on the top and the bottom. But we're going to just go ahead and get these sewn together, or get the sashing parts of them done. Now this is the top row that I'm working on right now. We do have 2 rows, and I've been doing sewing for about an hour already. The first half of the video that y'all saw, where I went to tend to my kitty cat, that was an hour and I think it was 17 minutes. Now, of course, I'm editing out all of my ironing and my tending to my machine, doing my bobbin and all that. So that's all included in this. Now, I know I don't have to take these off, but I am. And this is my third one. I'm making sure I have the right one. My husband should be here in just a little bit. He finally worked off of his shutdown. I think he was gone 2 weeks, I think. He says 3 weeks, but it wasn't 3 weeks. What it is, it covered 3 of his shifts, which are like 5 days apiece, or 4 days. So technically he was only gone 2 weeks. Okay, so this again is a situation where I have to use my sashing as my sew guide. Okay, I'm going to press these and be right back. Okay, so I got my top rows 3 done. So what I'm going to do is going to do my bottom row, and I'm just going to pick my pieces that I'm going to need and put them in the order that they need to be in. You know, like if one, because one does go upside down. So I know all of my white strips go to the right side, and when I lay them down, I lay them the direction they're going to be laying on the quilt or positioned on the quilt. That way when I pick it up to grab my strip, they're already in the correct direction. But I do still look at my pattern right here. Okay, so now we have this in, and I'm just going to zip through these real fast, and shouldn't take me very long at all. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and press these and then start putting the pieces together that need to go together. My next step, what I'm doing, I am assembling the flower units now. I'm starting on the bottom one. I don't know why, no particular reason. It's the ones I just finished pressing. So I'm just matching end to end there. I'm going to just slide this under. And I'll do the top row in just a moment as well. I believe my husband is in. So I may pause y'all. Y'all, it's hot today. We got a storm rolling in and it's very, very hot. I'm in North Louisiana, so that could mean tornadoes. I've been watching some weather reports and trying to stay up on what's going on, but I can't always keep up with it all. Well, yeah, that was my husband that come in. I just had him close my door, my office door. I may see if he wants to go grab a bite to eat, maybe go see a movie tonight. I think the Garfield movie is out. Okay, that is my bottom row completely done. So my top row, I have to find my first piece and my second. Okay, and these will put together like this. And guys, I think I'm going to take a quick break since my husband just came in. I think I'm going to take a quick break and go talk to him since he hadn't been in, and I'll be right back with y'all. YouTube, it'll be just a second, so y'all hang in there and I'll be right back in just a moment. Well, I am back, everyone. My husband and I were talking and I got this done. I got one strip put on. I'm putting the second strip on. When we were talking, I was just sewing. So, and I do pin the top and bottom of that strip on just to make sure I don't have any pull that I need to do on it. And yes, it is the next day. It seems like each day I'm getting about an hour and a half sewing on it. And so this is part 4. So I've already got 4.5 hours into it. And this is the 3rd day of part 4. So I anticipate another 4.5 hours on this part as well. Now that includes the pressing also. So, and any decision making I'm having to make as far as placement and things of that nature. So we're looking at easily can be done in a day if you can sit down to it that long for a day. I can't. I have too many other things that I have going, and I'm sure everybody else does too. But I want this to be the last part of the video. So it may be a really long video, but if it does, I got something for you. But I may try to speed you through some of this. I may chit-chat with you. I don't know. My husband is still asleep, so I'm trying to be quiet because it is the next day. And yes, I know I'm wearing the same shirt I had on yesterday, but I put this shirt on after I worked in the garden yesterday. After I took a shower and put this on. So I thought, well, I'm clean. I didn't do nothing to get dirty, but I am going to work in the garden in a little bit. I don't even know if the sun is up. It's trying to come up. It's early. It's early in the morning. I don't even know what time it is. It's probably about 6 in the morning. Oh, it's about 6:30. It's 6:23 to be exact. On Saturday morning. And I'm having to do this before my sister messages me to want to go for breakfast. But I got so much sewing I want to get, well, I need to get done. I have a lot I need to get done today. Well, this whole weekend. And this is a long weekend, so it is Memorial Day weekend. But I know Memorial Day, I am very likely going to be, I say very likely, that is, if I don't have my grandson. Well, I don't think my daughter works that day. So I shouldn't have my grandson. But I think, I do know when I saw her last night, because I did go by and see them last night after I quit sewing. I do know she said she would come over on Monday. So I know she'll come over Monday, but I plan on going to a Memorial Day service at our veteran cemetery. Okay. So I am going to I'm not going to press yet. I'm going to just keep putting them together because they're far enough apart it won't hurt anything when I put it together. I just heard the cat. It's the one that wakes him up when he's here. So it doesn't matter. And I think she's in the kitchen. So that probably means he's already up and giving her some of her food. But if he's up, that means I'm going to have to get up and go cook some breakfast here in a little bit. Okay, I'm not getting 1/4 inch sewing here because I keep sliding off the back. I may have to move my machine over a little bit because everything's falling off over here. And I decided not to cut my borders until I have this completely sewn together, because that way I can measure it to make sure I have the right size. Or I may just cut the strips, and I don't know, I may want to do a little wider border instead of what they call for to make it a little bit wider, but I have to measure it first. I have to see what I'm looking at first. Well, yeah, I got in the zone there and just started sewing. And didn't chit-chat at all. But I was having to focus on keeping that 1/4 of an inch there. I don't know what's going on. I know, yeah, I do. I know I do. I know I do. My table's not big enough for all this. So now I'm going to put my last strip. Y'all, this is the last strip. And then I'll put my side borders, but I want to see the length that I have before I go putting those side borders on, which all I have to do is move my machine out the way, and my fabric's right there to do the side borders. And yeah, I'm getting so excited. Now in this video, I know I've talked about this before, but you gotta realize this video has been 3 days in the making. Normally it don't. When I do videos, normally it's everything I've done in a day. But this one is 3 days, because I want this to be the final one for Bobbin Blooms, because I want to bring y'all along on something new. Something new. I'm ready for something new. Not that I don't like Bobbin Blooms. I love this. I think this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be a cute little throw quilt. You know, like my grandbabies come over and they want to take a nap. They want to lay on. This is, of course, when they're older, but we can do this now too. But if they want to lay down on the couch or go lay on the bed or something, and of course we don't want to mess up a make bed, we can just throw this on them real quick, and they can have them a little blanket for comfiness. I don't know about y'all, but I don't use blankets necessarily for warmth, which they are for warmth. I mean, you know, in the winter time. But sometimes they're just so cozy and settling, you know, especially for a little baby. It's kind of like their safety blanket or something. I hope they don't choose any of these that I've made as a safety blanket, because I would sure hate to have to give it up. Okay, I pinned my side here, my top strip, and I'm just checking to see if I need to have any stretch in it. Don't look like I need any at all. Looks like it fits perfect. Because sometimes you may need to give a little stretch for about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I'm making sure I'm not pulling. Making sure I'm staying on that 1/4 of an inch seam. And I know I got a bunch of seams under the bottom here. I could have easily turned it over, but I wanted to be holding on to the shorter strip. And I'm just making sure. Now, when I'm done, I will have to check when I'm pressing. I will have to check and make sure I caught all my edges real good, because I'm probably going to send this to the long arm. And when I send this to the long arm, if I have a misstitched or something, it may grab it and rip it, and we don't want that to happen. But I also hope, my goodness, this fabric is just... I don't starch my fabric. Y'all tell me, does that help with the fraying? If I starch it, will that help stop the frays? Now, I have seen some stuff called Phrase Stop or something like that, but when I tried to buy it, it was sold out, so it must be good. I only imagine it's probably something like a adhesive that holds it all together. And we're coming up on our update, and y'all see what I've been doing all week. Although, I have done some other things this week, y'all. I've gotten a lot. Well, I might have only worked on a couple things, but I got a lot done on both of them. This Bobbin Blooms is one of them. But who knows, after a weekend of sewing, I may have a lot to show you. A lot more. Now, I do have something else coming up too that I'll be showing y'all. What I'm trying to do right now is, like, all my fabrics and stuff back here, some of those were bought because they were such a great deal. Some of them were purchased for a particular project. Some of those are like sew sampler projects. I need to decide if I'm going to do the sew sampler project or not. Some of the patterns I didn't, I mean, they weren't my thing. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say I didn't like them because they were cute, but they weren't really something that was for me. But, you know, thinking about that, I can make it and give it to somebody as a gift. All right, y'all. I've got to press this, but I'm going to show it to you before I press it, because after I press it, I will decide what size width of border I need. Now, this is without the border. It is I know my machine is in the way. It is a nice size. I mean, when I hold it, this is going to tell you how short I am. I'm only 5'2", y'all. It comes about chest high on me, touching the floor. So that's a decent little throw. But I'm thinking, do I want it wider? I may add 2 inches or maybe more, I don't know, to the sides to make it wider. I like that though, y'all. That is so cute. Let me look at the pattern here and see. This Bobbin Blooms, this flower girl, y'all, this is so pretty. So pretty. Yeah, because the outside border is, I'm going to show you this because it does not, okay, these are the borders that I need to add, are these right here. If I put it too far up, see, I'm out of my light. You can't see it. But those outside, they go the full length of the quilt. So it's not like I'm butting up against anything. So whatever size I want to make that, I can. So, but I'm going to call this the end right here because I've got to decide and cut that, and I got to press this. But guys, this is our finale of Bobbin Blooms. And I told you, if you were still here with me, I had something for you. I'm going to do, let me grab my pen and a little notepad. I don't even know that I have my notepad right here on me. Well, I got a little sticky note. I'm going to write this down, and I'm going to give you a week. I'm going to do a little giveaway. And if you're still here, put flower in your comments somewhere. And I'm just going to we're going to do a draw. I'll do a drawing on June 1. It'll be a secret little thing. And I'm not even going to post the winner. What I will do is in a video, I will, in my update. In my update, I will post the Bobbin Blooms winner. I'm making my little notes. I'll do a drawing on June 1st. And I'll, if the person, I don't know, I don't think I can do that. I was thinking I may be able to go through Messenger or do something like that on YouTube, but I can't. I'm writing my notes here so I don't forget, because I'll tell you, because on June 1st I am doing my 2K giveaway, y'all. Thank you so much. But the word is flower. Put it in a sentence. I don't want it to be obvious that I'm doing a giveaway in this, because those of you that have stayed this long, you deserve something, because this is going to be a long video, because it's it's going to be about a 3.5 hour long that I'm editing down. It's probably going to be at least an hour. So I'm going to include the winner. In the update video, which is on a Monday. I don't have a calendar right here with me either. Wait, yet do I? No, my calendar is in my front room. Okay, so on June 3rd is when that video will come out. So guys, y'all watch that June 3rd update video. Who knows, there may be some more stuff in that video that is not in this one. I may be adding stuff. Yeah, I will be adding something extra in the June 3rd video, because I should have the sew along pattern decided on. That way you can go on and download it, because I think what I want to do is start this in July, because when I was talking to Miss Dee Dee, she did say quilt shops are very slow during the summer. So they still gonna see me at least once a month, maybe twice, maybe 4 times. I don't know. Because I do go and look on Fridays. I may just go in and look to see what new they got, see what I can conjure up. But June 1st, I will pull a random winner, and I may even include a little snippet of the drawing in that. I may do that. That may be easier. Well, actually, it would just be easier, but I mean, for sake of validity, people saying that it is very random, I have no saying who wins. I put it on my computer, and I do a random name picker. So, guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, please feel free to become part of our family. We love to sew here, do projects. Comment, tell me what you think. Don't forget your word. And the word is flower, Flower, for flower girl. And I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.